This news update is brought to you by
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Pure happiness will be connect to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow. Pure happiness will be connect to flow.
This is the Barbados Today afternoon update for Wednesday, November 25th. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Thanks for joining us. We begin with more reaction to the expulsion of Dr. Maria Agard from the Barbados Labour Party. Social activist and feminist Marilyn Rice Bowen described the move as a retrograde step, which is not appealing to women in Barbados, especially those seeking to enter the political arena.
The women will speak at the appropriate time, in the appropriate language that only aspiring politicians will understand. The women of this country will speak. And I want to personally stand in solidarity with Dr. Agard. And also, I look forward because one of the charges that were levied at her, it spoke to her speaking publicly on issues, on internal issues. And I note that other male parliamentarians have spoken publicly on internal issues. So I wait for their day when they will be called to the council. I also want to advise all sitting female parliamentarians to stand their ground, to stay firm. Don't feel shattered.
Meantime, political scientist Peter Wickham is staying clear of comments made by former Prime Minister Wen Arthur over the expulsion of Dr. Maria Agard. Yesterday, Arthur, who is also the former leader of the Barbados Labour Party, described the move by his successor as an act of despotism. He also took a swipe at the political scientist, but Wickham says he has already said all he needed to say on the Agard BLP saga.
My position is that I'm not commenting on Wen Arthur or anything that Wen Arthur had to say. Wen Arthur has been Prime Minister of Barbados for 15 years. I think that people of Barbados have come to a clear understanding of the type of person that he is. If not before, they have come to that now. And I think that the best thing for us to do is to move on and discuss other issues.
President of the National Union of Public Workers, Akani McDowell, is raising concerns over the government's push towards a 24-hour society. Yesterday, Minister of Industry and Commerce, Donville Innes, tabled the Shops Bill 2015, which will see these entities opening from 7 a.m. on Mondays to 10 p.m. on Sundays, as well as having less closed days. Now, McDowell tells Barbados Today he is worried that the country is moving towards a 24-hour society without holding promised talks on the issue or taking into consideration the trade union's concerns on the system.
That was that there is still a need to provide security for those workers who would be working beyond normal working hours. So we're looking at things like lighting, maybe an extra security guard. We might have it depending on who is. If the worker has to pick up their children, providing facilities for them to do that. If the worker has to go home, you might need to provide transportation for them. I'm talking about persons without children now, the general person. All of those things we would have highlighted in our initial discussion. So I don't know. I don't know what this act is really, or the passing of this bill is really supposed to do, but I would hope that if we are going to have full discussions on a 24-hour society, that the minister would try wherever possible, as soon as possible, to engage the trade union so that we can have whatever concerns that the members we can foresee addressed as soon as possible.
A state-appointed consultant on housing and sustainable urban development is calling for an investigation into the increasing number of unoccupied government units in Barbados. Professor Andrew Downs, who was part of a team that prepared the Barbados National Habitat Report 2015, made the call while presenting the findings of a report during a national consultation at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center this morning. Our Emmanuel Joseph has that story.
Professor Downs said that it was discovered that between 1990 and 2010, the number of new housing units grew in tandem with the number of unoccupied units. The study also found that although there had been no significant population growth during that period, housing units grew by 14.6%, while unoccupied units increased by a startling 117.9%. The report said that these figures imply that the purported high level of unmet demand for housing may be superficial, with the possibility that the supply of housing is inappropriate for the type of housing demand. From the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center, Emmanuel Joseph for Barbados Today.
In sports, the Barbados national senior women's hockey team opened their account at the Aquas Rio International Hockey Championship with a 2-1 victory over regional rivals and host Brazil last evening. Barbados' other games are against Peru today at 5 p.m. and then against Paraguay on Friday at 12:30 p.m. The third place and the final match will be at 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. on Saturday.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
To news from the region, the European Union continues to push for Caribbean countries to do away with the death penalty. We get to more in this Capital News report on the latest appeal.
The Caribbean region is still among a large number of countries yet to abolish the death penalty, according to European Union Ambassador Yerni Vicidich. Ambassador Vicidich made the statement as he was speaking at the opening of the Caribbean Regional Conference on the abolition of the death penalty at the Arthur Chung Conference Center.
The European Union has made human rights the silver thread that runs through its foreign policy, assisting democratic transitions around the globe and helping minorities, social groups and NGOs to voice their concerns. The abolition of the death penalty is one of our main human rights priorities. The experts we have here from the Caribbean region and farther afield shall explain better than I can the many compelling reasons why the death penalty ought to be abolished.
Governance Minister Raphael Trotman, who was delivering remarks on behalf of President David Granger, questioned whether countries are ready to take the step to abolish the death penalty or have the political will to do so.
And finally, the World Meteorological Organization says this year is likely to go down as one of the warmest on record. According to the data at the end of October 2015, temperatures ran well above any previous 12-month period. But that's not all. The researchers say the 5-year period, that's between 2011 to 2015, is also the warmest on record. They explained that the rise was due to a combination of a strong El Nino and human-induced global warming. The organization said their preliminary estimate, based on data from January to October, showed that global average surface temperatures for 2015 was 0.73 degrees Celsius above the 1961 to 1990 average. And on that note, we come to the end of our afternoon update, because there's more on our website at www.barbadostoday.bv. You can also subscribe to our EP for our email updates, and of course, like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals or Screenplay and supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 101 on Flow TV and the Mix 96.9 FM. There you can get all the latest news and sports. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. To have a wonderful day.